Good morning. Welcome back to the Red Mic. Didn't know if I was going to make it this morning. It is September 18th, 2025. Happy Thursday. Red Mic messages are leadership and life lessons picked up from 25 years as a public servant, 16 years as a youth football coach and scouting volunteer, 10 years as a mediocre athlete with far more heart than actual physical ability. Today's Red Mic message: accountability isn't punishment. Again, taking accountability here for myself. Go live, and I had switched to DuckDuckGo because Chrome wasn't working. I'd get the spinning thing over and over and over and over again. Couldn't get it to load. It would not recognize my camera. I would go to a camera app and it'd say DuckDuckGo is using it. No, it's not. Rebooted, nothing would work. So here I am back on Chrome, and thankfully it connected without doing the spinny thing. Anyway, today's Red Mic message: accountability isn't punishment. 16 years as a youth football coach. Accountability on the football field, it's just required. If you don't have accountability on the football field, then why are you even playing? As my younger son said so many years ago, they kept score. It mattered, right? So if there's not a scoreboard, who cares, right? That was his whole point. Well, coaching, you have to understand that accountability, and I think that most coaches do better than anybody. You miss an assignment, you're running a lap. Blow off a block, we're redoing the play. Keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again, you're on the bench at best. At worst, you might be off the team, particularly if you do something that's just egregiously against team rules, team protocol, team culture. And why? You're trying to build a winning structure. And without accountability, the entire team is going to suffer. Deadlines are going to be missed. You got a deadline on a Thursday, don't turn it in on Friday. Turn it in on Thursday. You got a deadline on Thursday, don't come back on Monday or Tuesday and say, hey, I'm going to make some changes on the fly. No, you're not. That does not exist in my dojo. Without accountability, your entire team's going to suffer. Deadlines missed, communication breaking down, expectations being fuzzy. No, it's called a deadline for a reason. Expectations have to be sharp. They have to be defined. They have to be followed. Because without that, productivity is going to drop. Blame shifting is going to start happening. People are going to try to, oh, it wasn't me. Oh, here, you take this hot potato. Oh, no, it wasn't me. It was Bob. And Bob's like, I turned my stuff in on Thursday. I don't know what the heck you're talking about. You as a leader, you as a coach, you have to make sure that accountability is clear, because your performance of your team will be sharper with it. Yeah, there might be some grousing or complaining while it's all going on. Can't believe they're making us do this again, blah, blah, blah. You know what? You don't like it? There's the door. Do your job, period. Your boss comes to you and says, hey, we just fired your boss because they wouldn't do X, Y, Z. What about you? I'll do my job. That's what pros do. So be a pro. Your decisions are going to be faster. Engagement's going to go up. Collaboration's going to get better. Results are going to become both measurable and predictable. So think about it in these 4 different ways. And thanks again, Justin Meacham. I lean on him a lot. The ownership framework. Players own their assignment from start to finish. This is in a high stakes environment where precision matters. Okay. You remember me telling the story many, many times when I was at the Residential Construction Commission. We had an inspection process where a certain member of the team would handle it up to the point to where the assignment got handed off either to an inspector or an engineer if it was a structural issue. And then this person would take over. Well, because this person wasn't in control of this workflow, that section right there became a huge jam, log jam. And the way I changed it is, okay, you start it, you're going to go all the way through to the end until that final report goes. We trimmed several days off of our report delivery. And in state government, days improvement, that's making sure that your constituents, your customers, are being met. Their expectations are, they may not like the result, but they're not going to say that it was slow because you were slow on the switch. You're not going to be able to blame me for the process. You might not like the outcome, but the process, I'm going to run that like a German train schedule. Say, okay, team framework. Everybody shares the result. The defense wins, the offense wins as a unit. Bob missed a block. Okay. Bob keeps doing it. We keep making Bob run, and it's not getting better. Okay. Now the entire team's running. It's harsh. It makes everybody mad at Bob, but you know what? Accountability, it's got to be a team sport. Milestone framework. Celebrate first downs almost as much as you celebrate a touchdown. Progress, if you track it in phases, it's going to lead to better momentum. Goes back to my very first Red Mic I did a year ago in March. The goal is to be a little bit better today than you were yesterday, and to be a little bit better tomorrow than you were today. Even if it's small incremental improvements. In a month, where are you going to be? You're going to be miles from where you started. That's the milestone framework. And then last but not least, the feedback loop. Coaches film sessions. They make corrections from the sidelines. They're continually checking in. They're giving timely feedback because that keeps everybody locked in. It keeps everybody on the same page. Oh, on that pull, the two guard's going to pull, but in order for that to happen, I've got to make sure I slam my block down at a 45-degree angle in order to give him room to get around my big backside. Oh, okay, got it, coach. Same sort of thing. If you were a log jam in the process, let's say you got a board meeting and everybody's turning in their stuff, right? And you don't turn your stuff in on time. That board meeting is set in stone. You're screwing up the works. I mean, you're like Tessio at the end of Godfather, messing around with all my arrangements. Yeah, well, in that case, you know what? Don't be that guy. Don't mess it up. Get your stuff done. That's what the feedback loop is all about. You as a leader, you get on those people early and say, okay, Bob, the last board meeting you were late. Ain't happening again. Okay? I know I keep picking on Bob. Sorry, Bob. Anyway, long story short, accountability, it's not punishment. It's making sure that the team is operating at peak efficiency for its abilities at that moment in time. It's structure. It's the system making sure that we're all rowing in the same direction. It's like the bosun at the beginning, at the front of that row, that, what do they call it, crew? They're going stroke, stroke, stroke. The reason they're doing that is because if you don't hear that mantra, you don't hear that repetitiveness, you might pull back when everybody else is releasing. And then what's going to happen? You're going to tilt. You're going to go into a circle. No one needs that. So getting everybody working same speed toward the same goal, talent won't go to waste. And with this accountability, even average teams can get better. Even average teams can eventually reach greatness. And that's today's Red Mic message. I hope you found it interesting. I hope you found it helpful. Again, I apologize. Again, taking accountability. I wish I knew what was wrong with DuckDuckGo, but the camera didn't work. So hopefully it'll be better tomorrow. Maybe it's just a glitch. Maybe they're just in a slump. Oh, slump. I'm going to be talking about falling into a slump tomorrow on #FunFriday. And I'm going to bring up a piece of pop culture that maybe you may not think of someone being in a slump. Superman. Yeah. And it's also going to be a nod to my buddy Scooter. Yeah, Scooter right there. I love you guys. I'll see you again tomorrow. Until next time, life is short. Drink the bourbon.